The New York Rangers are making some major changes as they've made multiple moves, including a surprising call-up and a complete overhaul of the defensive pairings. All of that and more in this episode of Rangers Digest. We're going to break it all down. But before we do, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 70% of you who watch our videos are not actually subscribed to the channel. So if you want to do yourself a favor, it's free. Hit that subscribe button and you get to stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. Now, guys, another great win on Saturday. Of course, a lot of fans, I saw it in the comments, were not happy with the win. They thought that they should have beat the Anaheim Ducks a little bit more cleanly, but nonetheless, it's another win, and the Rangers are off to a hot start this season. And just a couple days ago, they sent Matt Rempe down to the AHL's Hartford Wolfpack. And this morning, I woke up to Vince doing some investigative work. He was looking at the AHL's official page, and he said a transaction came across the official AHL page saying that the New York Rangers have recalled Matt Rempe. Still waiting for the Rangers to confirm, but they did not send Lecision down today and open a spot. He appeared in 2 games with Hartford over the weekend, registering 2 shots on goal with a -3 rating. Now, let's not look too far into his AHL stats. We know what he brings to the table, and we know what he can do in the NHL. And this was just speculation this morning, but it looks like from Remy as well. And we'll get to Remy's article in a second. The official New York Rangers PR page has stated that Matt Rempe, yes, has been called up, and he was actually at practice this morning, which we will get to in a second. But from Remy, just days after sending him down to the Hartford Wolfpack, the Rangers have recalled Matt Rempe. And I thought that this part specifically was very interesting because the New York Rangers sent Matt Rempe down to Hartford to play. Honestly, that's what it was, because he wasn't playing in the NHL. It's not that he wasn't ready for the NHL or he doesn't have use in the NHL. He was not playing. He was in the press box and they wanted him to play. That was really the only reason they sent him down, because, you know, we talked about it. Adam Edstrom's added something to this lineup in physicality and, of course, on the PK that is very valuable. And I think Matt Rempe, not that he's been passed, because Matt Rempe is still very young, but Matt Rempe needs to hone his skills a little bit more to make an impact like what Edstrom has, you know, came out of nowhere in preseason and brought, even though he did look good last season. And we'll get to the lines and obviously, like I teased, the D pairings in just a second, but I thought this was very interesting. You know, it's just 3 days after they sent him down to Hartford. He's being called back up. We're not, you know, entirely sure if he's going to play against the Washington Capitals, but we have some insight we'll get to in a second. But the 22-year-old forward played in just 2 games with the Hartford Wolfpack, where he registered 2 shots on goal and a -3, like we just mentioned. And Rempe will now be with the team as they travel to Washington to take on the Washington Capitals, who are 4th in the Metro. Very surprising start for the Washington Capitals as well. And obviously they have Tom Wilson, so maybe there's some diffusing going on there. We're not exactly sure, but I'm sure we will find out. And of course, Matt Rempe this morning, this is from Molly Walker at practice, of course, standing in front of the net. Of course, that's, you know, where he's got to go and where he's going to make his money and where the Rangers need him to go. So was at practice this morning. We're not entirely sure if he's going to suit up for the Rangers, but from Colin, we have some other insight and some other players as well. Jimmy Vesey this morning at practice is practicing in a regular full contact jersey. So he hasn't been activated yet, but he is practicing with contact at this point. So he looks like he's nearing a return. Again, not activated, so that's why Matt Rempe could be called up and could be making his way into the lineup. Thought that was very interesting. And from Vince as well, Jimmy Vesey is cleared and he's practicing in a regular jersey today, which is a good thing, a very good thing for the New York Rangers. Now, we'll get into some line pairings here, or we'll just look at the lines. I mean, this is as the line stood on Saturday against the Anaheim Ducks. This is basically what Daily Faceoff has, which is a great tool, by the way. This is from Daily Faceoff, and this is what they have right now for the New York Rangers. And I mean, you're not touching the first line, which I'm glad that that is now, you know, the official first line, because I've been saying it in videos. That is the Rangers' first line. Then, you know, you're not touching the second line either, because they've been okay, and, you know, they've been playing fine on special teams, but I wouldn't change that, because, you know, line 1 and 3 are really going. I wouldn't change line 3, of course. They're one of the best lines in hockey at 5-on-5. We discussed that in a video yesterday. But the fourth line, you would have to think, if Rempe's coming in, if they want more of what Matt Rempe brings, Adam Edstrom's probably staying in the lineup. So who's coming out? It's not Sam Carrick. It's probably Johnny. Johnny's coming out, I think, for this game against the Washington Capitals. And again, there's a couple reporters stating today, and we'll get back to it here in a second, that the New York Rangers, this is what they're running with today in practice. So it looks like Rempe will be taking Johnny's spot there on the fourth line, and they're going to have a very hard fourth line to play against. And again, I think Rempe will be in the NHL more often than not this year. I just think that, with he's getting an opportunity here, of course, with VC out still. And I think we're going to see Rempe a lot in the NHL. But again, he is still young, and they want him to play. If he's going to be sitting in the press box and he's eligible to be sent down to the AHL, why not let him play, right? And continue to work on the things that he was working on all summer. So I think that, we will see him in the NHL quite a bit this season. But at the same time, obviously with VC coming back, it's going to make it more difficult. We'll see how the lines shake up, but I'm a big fan of Matt Rempe, and I'm glad that he is. We'll be seeing him back in the lineup. But one other thing to note from Vince today at practice is Peter Laviolette is tweaking his defensive pairings a little bit, and it's pretty interesting, I find, and we'll get to it. Miller and Fox have been pretty good together, right? So when they have played together, they have been pretty good. So I've been talking a lot about how I thought Lindgren was always the Robin to Adam Fox's Batman. You should have them together. But Lindgren missed the first half of the season. Miller and Fox, not first half, sorry, first couple games of the season. And Lindgren, obviously, coming back in cold, right? They kind of trying to insert him back in the lineup. He's still getting up to speed, I think, but he is playing very well. And Miller and Fox have been good together, so wouldn't touch that. Trouba moves up a little bit. He's going to play with Lindgren, and obviously Schneider and Mancini. I think that is a very fun pairing there. Obviously, two younger guys and two right shot defensemen, but I like that. Mancini's been such a great story this year, and I'm glad that he's still in the lineup and doing his thing, because he's just been a revelation on the back end there for the New York Rangers, and honestly is showing that, with the Rangers probably having to move off Jacob Trouba this offseason, he's showing that he's taking that spot. Maybe he's going to take Jacob Trouba's spot, and he might be effective. Again, he's still young. We're probably getting ahead of ourselves here, but maybe he's taking Jacob Trouba's spot. But the last thing I will mention that I thought was very interesting in terms of the defensive pairings is Zach Jones. It looks like Zach Jones, after a great showing last year in 30 games, and again, making the team this year, it looks like he has made his way into the 7th defenseman spot, because, of course, as you can see here, with Lindgren back, Zach Jones won't be in the lineup tomorrow, or presumably won't be because of the lines they're running at practice today. And so it looks like he is now the 7th defenseman. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I wonder if you look at, sending him down again so he plays, kind of like a Matt Rempe situation. I wonder if that could be on the horizon for him, because Mancini has been playing so good, and I don't think you can take him out of the lineup. So let me know what you think about Matt Rempe coming back to the New York Rangers, being called up from the AHL's Hartford Wolfpack, and of course Victor Mancini, how he's playing, the new defensive pairings and what they're running presumably against the Washington Capitals tomorrow. And let me know what you think about Zach Jones. Is it a situation where they send him down, just keep him as the 7th defenseman? I think he's going to get into games here and there, but I think it's a Matt Rempe situation where maybe you want this guy to play, maybe he goes down to the AHL, because again, Mancini has been good. I'm not sure you can take him out of the lineup. So let me know in the comments what you think, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.